Welcome back. Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett telling CBS News Texas today that she is considering running in a different district than the one she's currently serving. That comes, of course, as Texas Republicans are doing the big push here through congressional map changes. ION Politics reporter Jack Fink found out why during an interview you had this afternoon with the Congresswoman. Live from Dallas, give us an update on what that conversation was about today.
Well, Doug, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett accuses Republicans of intentionally drawing her home out of her district, District 30, under these newly proposed congressional maps. And as a result, she says she's now considering running in the newly drawn 33rd congressional district, where her home will be if these new maps are approved by Texas Republicans.
I'm debating about whether or not I will run where they put me, which is where I live. Yeah.
In 33.
In 33.
Congresswoman Crockett has served in the 30th congressional seat since January 2023, and her district is mostly in Dallas County, but also has some in Tarrant County. While the boundaries of her district would change, it's still considered a Democratic majority seat and will have a majority of African Americans. Here's where it gets tricky. The current 33rd congressional district is served by Democrat Mark Vesey and is in both Tarrant and Dallas counties. Under the proposed new map of the 33rd district, it would only be in Dallas County and include Congresswoman Crockett's home. Congressman Vesey lives in Tarrant County, and he would not live in this district if it's approved. This will become a Hispanic majority district and will remain a majority for Democrats as well. And while Democratic Congresswoman Julie Johnson serves in the current 32nd congressional district, which includes Dallas County, under the newly drawn 32nd congressional district, she would also not live there, and also it would become a Republican majority district because it will stretch out to East Texas. Congresswoman Crockett told me today she does not want to move from her home. Members of Congress are not required to live in their districts. They only have to be a resident in the state in which they serve.
Then why is she talking about moving? Why don't she just stay her ass in her house where she at? Jasmine Crockett is about to be out of Congress. Getting out there on the national stage and doing what she was doing, not representing her people back home, not focusing on her job that she was elected to do, but taking that as an opportunity to jump up on the national stage, jump in the Kamala Harris situation. You could totally be a part of Kamala Harris's election team. One of the advisors or whatever the hell she assigns you, and not cross that line, not forget what you're really there for. And you did, to the point of where you just out there insulting people, doing things that don't have to. If you are sacrificing your position as a congresswoman, then what good are you going to be to anybody if you're going to be removed from Congress because they're going to figure out a way to get you out of there? And they did. They redistrict you out of there. Out of one of the 5 seats they're talking about, you and 2 other Democrats, of the 3 of you, 1 of you will lose your seat. And it looks like it's going to be you. And you're probably going to have to run against some, but I don't know if you guys are cool with that. Y'all probably got an agreement. But the Hispanic Democratic areas have the potential to become purple or red, because Hispanics tend to shift the way they feel based on their place economically in the world and their personal and religious beliefs and all of that kind of stuff. But no matter what, the black districts remain Democrat. It's a stronghold. It's expected. People wouldn't even be that wouldn't even be at the top of their agenda to check. It's like, the black people, black district, Democrat. Isn't that embarrassing? And just wherever we live, where it's a majority of us, and wherever we live where there's a majority of us is usually a poor area. And that's like, so why should we be Democrats if we're living in a poor area and have been consistently giving them our vote, and they haven't changed the condition of that area that we are the majority in? And now it's to the point now where it's hard to find areas in California where black people are the majority in any area. But shit, in other states, if you're in a majority black area, Texas, this is a good one, good example, you're going to be a Democrat. And it's so sad that they do nothing for these districts. They do nothing for these people. And her thing is, the only thing that's holding her even in a position to be able to open her mouth publicly is that she has a black constituency. And they afford her that platform. She takes that platform. She doesn't use it to benefit them or to help them out of their condition or out of their economic state. She uses it to interject herself onto the national stage, and not so that she can get a name for herself and grow her platform and do more for her people, but it's kind of me, me, me. There was a comment in her interview with that gentleman there when she said some shit like, I can't, I got to live in that district, newly built district, meaning new homes, bigger houses, probably nicer houses, probably more expensive houses. And the man cleared it up a little bit ago by saying, you just have to live in the state. You don't have to live in any particular district to run for Congress in Texas. So what she's saying is she wanted better. On that, she started talking about the salary. Jasmine Crockett is not going to stay in politics long. She ain't going to be Maxine Waters. That ain't going to be her. She's looking for an opportunity. She's going to jump out of there. She might go back into law. She might take on high-profile cases. That might be her calling. She might have a better platform for that, to draw in attention and to really be able to do what you want to do, because I believe she has the potential to be, independent of anybody telling her what to do. And I hope she takes that path. But getting out of Congress might be the best thing that ever happened to her, because it's happening. And it's because she stuck her head up out of the hole and drew unnecessary attention to herself, as opposed to being a very strategic person. And if they figure out that you're effective and you're not even out there making a whole lot of noise about it, then at least your constituency can come out and say, whoa, 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 you ain't touching this one, and really, really, really battle. Or if you did lose your district at no fault of your own, but because of redistricting and gerrymandering, you could run against one of them other two. It's battle of the fittest. It's the person who is able to help the people out the best. And if the people got a kind of bad taste in their mouth, like I would if I lived in your district, I wouldn't be impressed. Unless some people are impressed with just the fact that you have a household name. You're on a national level. Your platform has grown. But what is it your platform stand for? What do you stand for? What have you accomplished? I don't know. Other than drawing in negative attention that didn't have to happen. The districts over there may have been left alone. They may have looked elsewhere. Maybe they would have just settled on 4 seats or even 3 seats. But your district was targeted because of you. And the people in your district don't deserve that. They deserve to be represented by somebody who is going to bring positivity and not negativity, and not put an X on them. I mean, more than there already is an X.
Crockett said she wants to have a conversation with her current constituents and her Democratic colleagues in Congress about the situation they face.
Does Mark Vesey fit better into 30 now because it does have some talent, or not? And does Julie just kind of fit better at running in 33 than me? And is my district going to be okay with me running and being on this fixed government income and therefore not buying a home?
See, that's just like she's saying, are they cool with her not making no money and having to live in that? You don't have to live in that district. So I don't know where she's going with that. I just kind of get pissed off when she tends to go away from the core matters that need to be being discussed. She has a really wonderful opportunity to take advantage of getting some shit out there that means some shit. And she has up there chuckling and bullshitting around. And it's offensive. I think she should buckle down and pay attention and really work for the people. And don't just talk that talk, but really mean that shit.
In the newly constructed 30, obviously I don't have to live there under federal rules.
Right.
But I mean, some people want somebody that lives in the district. And then obviously I want to talk to my colleagues and say what kind of makes sense so that at least hopefully 2 of us have the best shot at going back.
Because one of you will be out. And of the 3, you might be the odd person out. You might be the least liked. You're definitely the newest. And it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. And your constituents, if they're fighting for you, they're going to be fighting just because they like you personally or because they like to see you on TV, on different talk shows, not talking about them. That's why they're going to be pulling for you, which makes no sense. Wake up calls come. And this could be one of those moments where the next time we see you on a national level, you might not even be in politics, but if you are, you'll approach it differently and understand the power that you have and the voice that you have and not just squander it.
And Congresswoman Crockett tells me she believes she still has a very strong rapport with the constituents who will remain in the 30th Congressional District. Last week, I spoke with Congressman Mark Vesey and Congresswoman Julie Johnson about the new maps. They told me they are really focusing first on this fight against Republicans on these new maps and said they would focus on their individual races later on. Congresswoman Crockett said that she believes Republicans at the Texas Capitol are going to approve these new maps once they establish a quorum in the House, which could happen later this week. Doug?
And when they finally do turn back in there or turn themselves back in or establish a quorum, get the hell back to work, there should be a punishment. There should be penalties. You can't just do that. You cannot. And if your reasoning for doing it is because you feel that you had to stop something that was going to harm your people, that was going to harm your state, that you feel that fits underneath the oath that you took. I'm sorry, the oath that you took. So you took an oath, and you're sitting here upholding it by running to Chicago or California or wherever you ran to. Now your stand is honorable if it was in your heart, and that's why you left the state so they couldn't establish a quorum and do anything. But if they push the end and take you into court, will your leaving and vacating the state and holding up the session, the congressional session at the state level, would that be justified? Would you be able to make people believe, yeah, that's how politics work in the United States? Because if it does, then there would be a provision for leaving your state in order to delay or stop another party from progressing in their agenda. There would be provisions for that. And if there are not, then these Democrats from Texas are guilty of breaking the law, or at least not honoring their oath by abandoning their constituents in their state at a time when they're needed, which is any time. You have business to do. You have work to do, and you have to get there and do it. And just because you lose an election or not in the majority does not give you the right to actually break the law, if that's what happened. If that didn't, then I'm misspeaking. But I believe if this ends up in court, I think the Democrats are going to be in trouble because I don't think there's a provision for that. You're just abandoning your duty. I will say this. I think Jasmine Crockett is an intelligent person. I don't think she's stupid or nothing. I'm not going to sit here and take personal shots at her. But I do believe that she doesn't use the best judgment. I don't think that her trying to get real close to Kamala Harris was a good look. To be honest with you, for her to stand apart from Kamala, not to be opposed to her and not to be adversarial, but to stand apart, to clearly let there be a contrast and let them know that I support her, I'm voting for her, I'm going to campaign for her, but we don't completely agree on everything. And draw the line and let everybody know that where you differ and what they're going to get in you that, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you had a potential out there at first, and then because you can be such of an outcast, being black, not being known, and the Democrats aren't going to just come up to you at a cocktail party and start spilling their guts or bad-mouthing certain people because they don't really know who you are and what you value and why you're there even. And then when you break the ice and you find yourself with the Hakeem Jeffries, and in those groups, Kamala Harris, then it means that you obviously didn't have a clear picture of who they were going in. Because if you did, you would know who to avoid, what to avoid, and what not to affiliate with. If you really mean what you portray, you got to get in there and let them know that, nah, not me. I'm not with the bullshit. You guys ain't going to get me to get up there and do the we will overcome shit in 20. We ain't doing it no more. No. Come with a different approach, black young people. You're not giving us any hope. It's like still having the same old politicians that we're trying to get rid of now. Can you believe, can anybody believe in the like early 80s, late 70s, some of these people were around? I mean, that's just a long time. I don't care how sharp your mind is for your age, for 88 or 81 or 79 or however old you are. That is not the best mind to be running a country. And a country that has all these moving parts. And where it's important to be current and relevant and have a clue to what's going on in society and an understanding and the ability to communicate with the bulk of the society that you are in possession of. I just think it's a disappointment to see our opportunities squander when we get the younger black folks in, and they just keep going down the same road that the older ones are going in. They don't seem to be getting it, you know. And as a result of that, this will happen. She pissed off the wrong president. He don't play nice. And his cabinet, they know what makes him happy. Not playing nice. He can't be all over the place at once. He got a lot of help. People are bringing things to his attention. People are advising him on certain folks and what to do. And where they drew this up, it was disadvantageous to Jasmine. They weren't after them other two. It's 3 Congress folk that will be affected by this. 3 districts will go to 2 on the Democratic side. And it will be an odd man or a woman out. And I think it's going to be Jasmine Crockett. And I think she knows it. And I really still don't believe she's responding appropriately. You know, I don't believe the Democrats are responding appropriately. Everybody acts like this is just some bad time we're going through. And when we get back in, what do you have to do something to get back in? It just doesn't happen organically unless it's more to this than we all know. Let us know the truth then. If you guys, all you got to do is just go out there and continue fucking up and still get back in. If that's what happens, okay, then I get it. But Jasmine Crockett, toodles, you know, and hopefully you'll do better in your next position. And I trust you'll land on your feet. You'll be fine. You're college educated and you got experience in Congress. Maybe you can be a lobbyist for black people. Hey, that'd be a good one. Like, comment, share, and please subscribe. We'll see you on the next Black Popcorn.